He flew away.
Mm-hmm. What's that squirrel doing?
Get it out of here, square. What? 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 What, Square? Will you tell me? Hey, Square, will you tell me? Square, Square.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How are you? Welcome to Alone Together Pittsburgh. We are streaming at you live from Pittsburgh. Go figure. I am your host, Patrick Jordan, and we are embarking on episode 99. This is episode 99 of Alone Together Pittsburgh. Week 32. Dave, are we at week 32?
32.
Week 32, episode 99. This is crazy that this is still rolling on here. But it's your first time watching us. Welcome. We've been doing this for 6 or 7 months, or wherever the math is on 32 weeks.
31, actually. Sorry, Patrick. It's
31. It's okay. It's 31. It's 31. It feels like a weight. No, 32. 31. 31 weeks, 99 episodes. We've been coming at you live. We started the show the day that the shelter-in-place order came down. We wanted to keep a sense of community going, to let people know that they weren't alone out there, that we were all in this together. And here we are, still rolling at you live. A couple of things. If this is your first time watching, we have a fantastic show for you tonight. We've got Dave Bjornson is going to be talking to us about the NBA and probably some other musical things, about how they pulled off their bubbling and what goes into the sound. We also have Toujours is going to be here tonight. We've got music from him live from his van. We're hoping it's live. It might be pre-recorded. We're having some technical issues because he's in a van. That's coming. And Farm2Table with Erin Hart is going to be on tonight. So it is a great show. We are kicking it off. But before we get to our guests, there's a couple pieces of housekeeping that we like to do. If you'll notice something that's ticking below me here, that would be our Venmo. At TogetherPGH. If you like to kick in a couple of bucks, if you like what you're watching on the show, all the money goes to the artists involved on the show on any given night. So we would appreciate anything you can do. I know everybody's asking for money. We're no different, but we know times are tough. But anything, $1, $2, $5, whatever you can do will be greatly appreciated. That's one thing. Another thing is, I don't know. I got nothing. We've got lots of things. You might be noticing something if you're watching on Facebook. There's a poll there. We're going to talk about that in a second. But there's some other things we talk about here on the show. One of the more important things, which is getting down to the nitty gritty, is the Engine House 25 Winery Jagoff poll. Now, it is not a negative thing. It is not a derogatory thing. It is a term of endearment, the Jagoff poll, brought to you by Engine House 25 Winery. Now, if you know anything about wine, you go to Engine House 25 Winery. It's right where the Strip District meets Lawrenceville, right? It's right there in Doughboy Square. You can't miss it. It's an old fire engine house. It also houses the Roberto Clemente Museum. They've got a ton of great reds, ton of blends. They've got a Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, and a Rosé. Go to eh25.com. Tell them that you found out about them from Alone Together Pittsburgh. You'll receive $5 off per bottle. That's not per case, that's per bottle. You buy a case, that's quite a savings. So get on that. They're also doing free delivery in the 412 during this pandemic time. They also have curbside, so if you want to buy in advance, drive down, you call them, they bring it out, they put it in your car, contactless as you can get. So eh25winery.com. But the Jagoff poll was a big one. Okay, it was big. All right, we're down. We're almost. Some of these things are in the Elite Eight. The Sweet 16 is happening. We're almost out of slots. Dave,
How big was it, Patrick?
it was so big. We got to know who's the best now. This is a big one. Tell me, Dave.
All right, overnight we had two of these big dogs, the woof woof big dogs, the Logjammer versus Striking Distance, two Pittsburgh big dogs. People say, hey man, how can you put the Logjammer against Striking Distance? And I say, exactly. Whoa, Pittsburgh, you had no problem with this. No problem at all. Let's find out how you voted. The final results are in, and the winner is... Striking Distance, 72%. Logjammer, 28%. Me personally, screw you, Pittsburgh. That's bullshit.
Unbelievable. Who's the best cop now? Striking Distance moves on to the next round. Now, the Logjammer beat some stiff competition to get where it is, plus the fact Dave runs live video of the Logjammer pretty regularly on the show. So it was built in. So there must be... See what I'm saying?
The dreams of those children are officially dead. Dead.
Just like
This one's on you, Papa Pittsburgh.
just like the Logjammer. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. You stick around for the end of the show. You find out who the overnight is going into tomorrow, and it is another. They're all big from now on. Everyone that goes has won at least 3 rounds. So this is like, people are like, how can you do this? You're breaking my heart. How do you choose between these two? Well, you're going to find out. But we also have a little something called the Lil Jagoff. That's right. The Lil Jagoff poll is the in-show poll that you can vote on right now. Dave, tell them what it is.
I like to think about this one as old Pittsburgh versus new Pittsburgh. Nouveau Pittsburgh. It happens in the bike lanes. That's right, everybody's favorite bike lanes. But what happens when in one bike lane, an old man on a recumbent bike comes across a young man on a one-wheel? What happens? Old man on a recumbent bike. He's cranky. He's pissed off. He's got a big flag. You can see him because he's an old man on a recumbent bike versus the one-wheel. The one-wheel. Young people have all sorts of stupid-looking skateboards nowadays. They're all electronic, robotic skateboards. I don't understand it at all. I'm caught in between. There's an old man on a recumbent. He's old and creepy. There's a young man running around on R2-D2. I just can't get down with that. Pittsburgh, you gotta decide. I'm out of breath.
Well, Dave, I could tell I could tell that you cared about this in-show poll because you just brought it. I mean, the A game's coming. Your A game is coming. Pete's graphic A game. I mean, some of his best work is coming out right now. I mean, he's peaking with these here. I don't know where he finds these images, but there it is, folks. Donna says she has a love-hate affair with Striking Distance. I mean, don't we all though? I mean, don't we all? I mean, isn't the hate of Striking Distance part of what makes it great? I don't know. I could be wrong, but if anybody has any thoughts on Striking Distance, you want to call in, let us know. We'll get you on the show, or just type in the comments here, because I'm fascinated by people's opinion. Now, lots of movies have been made in Pittsburgh since Striking Distance, but when Striking Distance was made in Pittsburgh, it was a big deal. I mean, Bruce Willis was on top of his game. All of that was happening. So anyway. Lots of people have stories. We've had a couple people on the show that worked on it. It's amazing. So anyway, enough about that. Striking Distance lives to fight another day, and you get to choose right now. It's only on the live. People who listen to the podcast-only version, the audio version of the show, do not get to vote on this. People who watch this show later, people on the East Coast to check it out, people who have like social lives, I don't know why, do that. But anyway, one more thing before we bring out our first guest. Remember why we're here. We wouldn't be doing this show on 99 episodes if there wasn't a pandemic going on. So please, we urge you to keep on wearing your mask, keep on social distancing, keep on washing your hands. This thing isn't over yet. As a matter of fact, the COVID numbers in Allegheny County today were in the, I think, 95 or better, like in the upper 90s, which is basically we're averaging out about 85 a day for the last 5 or 6 days. So we're floating between 80 and 100 cases. So, yeah, so please keep on wearing your mask. Keep on doing the social distancing thing. It's a political time. It's not political to wear a mask, okay? Your mask is It's just at this point now, and I know I hate to say that it's like political, but it's an IQ test at this point if you're not wearing a mask. I mean, just don't be a jag. And before we bring out our first guest, I got to remind you that Bruce Springsteen himself said this.
Put on a fucking mask.
That's the boss. You know what I mean? You can't mess with him. I'm sorry for the language. The boss gets to swear. I do not. But enough is enough on that. Pete, Dave, unless you got anything to go, we can bring out our first guest. Got anything for me? Sweet. All right. So our first guest is coming back here. He's been on the show once before, and was a fantastic guest in the early days. And now he's on a little bit of a quasi tour. So let's see what we got here. I think we've got a little pre-recorded video that was like live-ish. I think he recorded it about a half hour ago. Let's go to Joy du jour.
Oh my goodness, back on ATP! Alone Together Pittsburgh! Except I'm not in Pittsburgh. I'm in a van. It might look like much, but it's actually just a van. And I am traveling around doing random knot videos and exploring abandoned buildings on my YouTube, which is Random Knot Joy. And I was in Pittsburgh for a minute and got to film a music video for this new song called Stupid Boy, which is about when you meet a boy and he or she wants a mixtape, or you make them a mixtape because you love them, or a playlist or whatever you kids do nowadays, and they eventually fuck up and they ruin those songs for you. Don't give them your A songs, just give them your B songs and your more C songs. Yeah, give you a second there. Anyhow, this is called Stupid Boy. Don't let stupid boy, don't let stupid boy, don't let stupid boy ruin perfect song. Well, I think you're better than this. We all make mistakes. Sometimes a crush should stay a crush. Don't need no mixtape. Feelings can be bulletproof, but that don't make them right. Quit playing capture red flags. He only plays at night. Don't let stupid boy, don't right there for him. He's only worth Morrissey. Stupid boy. Stupid boy. Stupid boy. Alright, last time, let's all sing along. You know it. Oh, stupid boy. Stupid boy. Stupid boy. End on a C. More C. Okay, that's Stupid Boy. Check out the music video. We filmed it in the rock room, men's room, because that makes sense. Something's beeping. I don't know. Anyhow, I love Alone Together Pittsburgh. Thanks for having me.
Well, I tell you what, that's the best interview I've done in 99 episodes. I can say right there, Joy is a professional. We're going to see him a little bit later on in the show again. So stick around for that. Are people voting, Dave, on the old guy on a seated bike versus a one-wheel bike? Are any votes happening? Okay, apparently not. But that is okay, because you're going to start voting right now if you can. Okay. We've got, okay, all right. People are okay. The recumbent bikes instead of the one-wheel bike is in the lead right now. All right, so there's a lot more people watching than are voting, but that's cool. It's your choice. You could start exercising your choice to vote right now, getting prepared, getting ready for it. You know you cannot vote in in other elections online though, right? Like, you know that even if you get sent to a website, you can't vote online. So this is just like a mental thing. You have to either go to a place or mail in a thing. But you cannot, and you have 2 envelopes. And no naked ballot. Oh, wait. So a couple more votes have come in while we were talking. Pete, what do you got for me, buddy?
Did you see what?
Yeah, I mean, that was fantastic. So
The guy's the best.
he's the best at what he does. Is that a blue button-down shirt today? Anyway, but without further ado, I'm excited about our next guest on the show here. He was on the first episode of Alone Together Pittsburgh. We were supposed to be doing it before it was Alone Together Pittsburgh. It was going to be live at 25 at his place on 25 Carrick, but he has just come back from the NBA Finals. Okay, Dave works the Super Bowl. He works the NBA Finals. He does the PGA Tour. He does it all. He's going to answer some questions about what went down at the NBA and just about anything else. So without further ado, I give you the man, the myth, the legend, the Renaissance man, Dave Bjornson.
Hey, but you know what? Don't let stupid boy. Don't let stupid boy. Don't let stupid boy. I'm a new fan, man. I think he's
contagious. Awesome. He is. You picked it up already.
That is a number. That is a number. Well, it's glad. I'm so glad to be back. You know, Patrick, 3.5 months in the bubble, and Alone Together Pittsburgh is one of the things I could count on to give me a taste of home.
So you were in the bubble. Now the NBA bubble has been legendary. I mean, what they're talking about here, like, well, from the, tell me about it.
Let me start from the beginning. So, as you mentioned, yeah, kick back.
Go ahead.
As you mentioned, show number 1, we worked together, and it must have been maybe a week after that when I got the call from the NBA saying, "Hey, we're going to try and finish our season." And of course, you know, shout out to all the other entertainment technology people in the city. We were all, you know, doing nothing, right? We're all waiting for the next gig to come in. HEARCORP plus 25 Carrick, we probably have a dozen people who depend on their jobs with us for their livelihood. And you know, we were all wondering what's going to come next. And so I was on this conference call that involved, okay, we're going to do the NBA Finals. It's going to be in a bubble. Didn't know much more, and all of a sudden there was a concern. Right, there's going to be no people there, so in sports audio mixing, the crowd is your friend. Right, it covers up a lot of ugliness that otherwise would be audible to your audience. And in basketball, I don't know if you've ever seen people play basketball at the park, but there's a lot of talk about people's mothers, and some
Trash
four-letter words are thrown about, and it was very important to the NBA that stuff not reach air. So during this conversation, it was like, well, how can we hear the squeaks of the feet? How can we hear the ball bouncing, but not hear people's voices? And there were like 45 seconds of silence on the call. And I was thinking about it, and I'm like, why not use what's a Barkasberry pickup? And for anybody who's not a musician out there,
Well, of course, a Barkasberry pickup. I mean, of course.
well,
I mean,
when you're trying to amplify an acoustic guitar, you can't really use a microphone sometimes because it creates a lot of feedback in the monitors.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a little ceramic disc that you mount to the guitar. Then instead of picking up sound through the air, it's picking up the vibrations of the medium of the guitar, and it's therefore fairly immune to feedback. So in my brain, very quickly, I was like, what if we put little pickups all underneath the floor, like say 60 of them underneath the court? Now we're still hearing squeaks. We're hearing bounce, but we're not hearing your mom sucks. So I pitched this idea with a buddy of mine, Dave Grundvig, and this was literally 9 days before the bubble was going to start. And the NBA said, do you think you can make this work? And I said, I think we can. So my entire shop, everybody who works for me, turned into an assembly line of building these microphones and building the cabling that was going to be installed underneath the basketball court.
Wow.
And honestly, Patrick, I am not ashamed to say it could have been a complete freaking disaster.
Yeah, right.
But it worked out really well. And if Mansueto, the man of the hour, the Tower of Power, could show that one little image that looks like the ground plan of a basketball court, you can get an idea of what we were. Oh, look at that guy. So if you look real closely at that thing, there's like 180 pieces of flooring that go down, and there were 48 microphones underneath this court, and we had to plan out the cable runs to go back over in the court. Now, keep in mind, I'd never seen this venue. I've never been to the ESPN Sports Center in Orlando, and all I had was Vectorworks to measure the lengths of this cable that all had to be built before we left. And I had 2 days to install it on all these courts. And if the cable lengths were wrong or if the shit didn't work, we were going to get run out of town. But in fact, it did work, and it may become a staple of the NBA moving forward. So we might need to put a whole crew of people together to build this shit to install it at a bunch of NBA arenas. Hire me. That's the baseline of what I went down there to do. But I also worked for Turner Sports and did a bunch of mixing of the actual games. There's another image of me looking like a fat TV guy in front of $1 million console. It makes me realize I got to do a few push-ups. But that is a.
You just look.
Well, I got a little tennis forearm going there. My tennis forearm's happening.
Tennis forearm.
Yeah. So that is one of the production trucks that was responsible for mixing all the games. There were 3 courts, 9 TV trucks. Essentially, the show was bigger than the Super Bowl in terms of infrastructure and the amount of shit that all had to be talking to each other. And I will say this: can I get political for 1 second?
Oh, okay.
1 second. All right. 450 TV guys, 500 players, officials, Disney staff, food and beverage people, hotel staff. Not one COVID case. Not one.
Mm-hmm.
Peer pressure, right? Peer pressure. If you saw some dude with the mask down over his nose or not doing the shit right, it was peer pressure to bring him back on. Because guess what? If the shit would have started to go wild down there, everybody loses, right? Everybody loses. Everybody has to go home. So everybody understood that it's a community effort to keep everybody safe. Right? It's fairly simple. Now, the one thing I will complain about is, well, not necessarily complain, but wonder why we can't do this across our great nation, is we were tested every day. 900 people tested every day. So I know exactly what this part of my sinus cavity feels like up here, like behind the eye right here, because every day You were getting that up the old schnapps.
Real quick, I know we're talking serious stuff. Gina Mundo wants to know if you have, if LeBron asked about her, how did he smell, and did he get her letters?
Well, okay, here's what I can tell you about LeBron. High school pitcher. I was a college tennis player. My basketball experience was limited to the church white kid team. So I have, very little skills in that area. But when you are that close to those level of athletes and the endurance and what they do to make that stuff happen, TV does not do a good job of really relating how hard those guys are working and the skill that's involved. And LeBron absolutely was the leader of that team. After Game 5, we are able to see all kinds of camera footage that the public never sees. Mm-hmm. And let's just say that he's pretty effective at motivational speeches.
Let me put a pin in that real quick. I want to come back to this thing, but before we move on, so not one COVID case in this bubble, right? And because you're saying that it was because peer pressure, that if somebody slipped up, somebody would remind them. Now, the food was brought in. Nobody left the bubble, right? Everybody was there together.
Now, you could Uber Eats some food in. There were 3 zones. We got to get our zones straight here. So, and if it was me, I'd have named them opposite, but it is what it is. There was the green zone, which is players, referees, very few other folks. These are people who are in direct contact with the players. They're pinning mics on people. They're the guys that are wiping up the floor. They're the play-by-play color. These guys. Then in the middle were yellow people who had access to the building, but not direct access to the players. And then you had the red zone, which were people just on the periphery. And really, unless you had special access or a special reason to go from one strict area to the other, you couldn't take, say, some equipment that was out at the truck and take it and put it on the floor. It all had to go through a process of being clean. I mean, I have to hand it to the NBA. This has never been done before. And the amount of talented and committed people they put together to make this thing run, it was absolutely incredible. And if you compare it to what happened in hockey, which wasn't too bad, right? Baseball, a little bit worse, right? We had early
on. Baseball kind of caught on after a while, but yeah.
Right. And now we've got football where we've got games canceled. I can kind of safely predict the NCAA finals are going to happen the same way that this bubble did. It may well be the way the sports happen moving forward for a while now. I feel incredibly lucky to be involved in some kind of production area that's still going on. I can't even speak enough about all of my contemporaries in Pittsburgh and all over the nation who work primarily in the entertainment side. Man, there's nothing going on.
No, yeah, I know. Now, one more thing about basketball that I said I would have put a pin in before. I noticed something during the finals that I hadn't noticed before. It was called the Above the Rim channel. I think it was like ESPN3 or something that was running the finals with no commentary. It was just the above the hoop camera. And I saw parts of the game that I'd never seen before. It was just from that one angle that shifted around. And I could hear, it was probably your mics making the footwork, because you could hear everything. You could subtly hear the players, but it wasn't.
So I wish I had more pictures, but that's what's called a RoboCam operator. They're run by a company called Fletcher. And if you could picture almost picture an air traffic controller room with 20 guys sitting at stations with joysticks, and they're incredibly adept at making these cameras follow action. I mean, I've sat behind them enough times to just play with them, and it makes you look real foolish. Oh,
yeah, that's the Pepper sighting of the night, or the sounding.
Awesome.
Yeah,
But yeah, all in all, Patrick, it was a great experience. I'm glad I did it. I mean, as you well know, but some others may not, I'm a married guy with 4 kids. And
So you were away for how long?
Oh my goodness. I left on July 2nd.
Oh, wow.
And I was one of the lucky guys that made some other plans so I could get out of there for a minute. I came home for a few days, and then I did the U.S. Open tennis in New York, which was an entirely different scenario. They did have some people go down. And then I spent a couple more days at home and went back to the bubble. But there was a quarantine process you have to go through every time you come back.
Is that 2 weeks, or what's the quarantine process?
It was 4 days.
4 days.
But you had to get
tested every day.
Yep, tested every day.
Now, were these the rapid tests, or were these like the overnight go back to the lab tests?
They tested every day.
That's the robo camera that you were talking about before, I believe.
Well, no, but it's way to go, Mansueto. It is a 24-hour test. So if the NBA can find a way to get 1,000 tests a day and make it happen, why can't we get it together as a nation? I'm asking you.
I mean, it's too easy to blame one thing, but I can. Why isn't there more testing? We've been talking about testing since March 3rd, or whenever we started this thing. So testing has always been the key in the contact tracing. But the contact tracing is happening. But I mean, when you have your super spreader events, it just overwhelms the contact tracers.
And I'll tell you what, as I came out of the bubble and got in my NBA provided limo to go back to the airport, I opened
Was it a stretch job with a TV and a bar?
It was but it was a nice black Cadillac with cushy leather seats.
Black car. All right.
Yes. So
got you.
I get out of that car, and it's like I was in a whole nother world in Florida. Nobody's wearing a mask at the airport. Yeah. And it's like, for 90 days, I was trained to beep, 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 beep. Danger, Will Robinson.
Well, that's what it is. In Canada, you get caught without a mask. It's $750,000.
God, it's so simple. It's so simple. Everybody has parents. Everybody has grandparents. We all know somebody that we care a lot about who's compromised. Why does it have to turn into a DICK measuring contest of I'm too tough for a freaking mask? Come on, man.
Or a nose measuring contest. Am I right, Pete?
Come on.
But it's like, it's rough. I mean, it's the other thing is now that they're talking about like trying to go with this herd mentality thing. I'm going to ask a question, right? Let me ask you a question about the herd thing. No, but how about this? It's like, okay, if there was like, have you ever heard anyone say, hey, there's an Ebola outbreak, we should all just go get Ebola because we're going to build a herd immunity to Ebola. It's the most disgusting, and that's what's getting pushed right now. So it's the confusion. I don't know why. Maybe it's an us them thing. It's like something to draw a line on, but this isn't a game, and I don't think it's politics, man. I say it every night. It's not political. Just put on the mask.
Put on a mask.
It's the one thing that we can do that we don't have to have. Like, I don't know how to test for COVID, right? I know how to put on a mask. I can put a piece of cloth over my face. I don't know what to do. So I don't know. It's driving me crazy. And I can't watch television. Like when you see things and you see like people doing this, you go out. I mean, Pittsburgh's not terrible, but I mean, it depends on where you go. It's like there's neighborhoods, I mean, you can get, like I said, it's an IQ test at this point. Well, it's like, what are you trying to do?
I want to pitch a little idea that we're coming up with over a 25 carat with your audience. We have partnered with a startup in New York who is a web platform that is doing all kinds of shows. Some of them big, some of them little. I don't want to mention any names yet, but if you have a band and you want to do a web stream to a wide audience, we're going to try and do one of these a week to a platform that's much bigger than I or any of the people I work with in Pittsburgh know how to do. So davidhearcorp.com, if you got something interesting you want to put on a platform, we're going to be shooting this stuff. It won't cost you anything. And we're looking for submissions.
Well, Dave, Alone Together Pittsburgh, is a heck of a platform that should have a bigger audience. And that's where you can.
Well,
I'm just going to
hey,
But no, that's cool. So what else
we
is
have
going
to
on
go.
with HEARCORP 25 Carrick?
So part of the interesting thing of being in broadcast technology is there's a move to make all kinds of events happen without having to bring $1 million trucks to the venue. Rather, you bring the signals from the venue back to a central location studio where you can manipulate the video and audio and then stream it from there. And, you know, I've watched these people do this for 6-7 years now, and we've amassed a pretty sweet cadre of gear over in our own building. So what we're pitching now is you might have a club in wherever, and we will take those signals from those cameras and audio over the internet with specialized hardware, put it back together in our control room, and then ship it out from there. And that seems to be gaining some legs.
So it's like in Willy Wonka and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory when they take Mike TV and they break it up into little things and they send them over here and they say, like, you're gonna be like that hub.
It's Mike TV, only 40 channels of Mike.
Imagine that. See, it's
Yes.
2020, not that 70s version.
Not that 70s. What a great movie, though, huh?
It was pretty good. Gene Wilder is amazing. Should have got an Oscar for that thing.
He definitely should have gotten it.
You lose, Charlie.
I also want to hear what is the future for Bare Bones Theater looking like? You have any plans to launch a virtual show?
I've got a million plans. The problem that I'm facing right now is the actors' equity unions are basically going back. The equity and SAG, they're going back and forth. What constitutes streaming? What platform does that fall into?
Right.
My physical theater, I mean, as of right now, it's 20%. You can only have 20% capacity under 2,000 people or something, right?
Yeah.
And then it goes.
Why don't we stream a show from there?
So we could have 20 people. We could have 20 people in the thing, but the problem is, it's basically keeping the actors safe with other actors, keeping the crew safe. How that's going. I mean, fortunately, we have a new HVAC system in there. It's only 2 years old.
I know all about it.
Yeah, right. Everybody does. So I mean, so we can pull that all off. It's just a tricky thing right now. Everybody's trying to do it, but if you'll notice, even the larger theaters aren't pulling off the giant streaming things yet. They're just doing the live reads, the play readings of scripts because so the actors' equity is kind of holding back. So I'm going to hold on.
I also want to pitch a local theater company in Pittsburgh, Prime Stage Theater, right? And their mission is to
they're great. They're great educational
literature.
Yeah.
Yep. Take works of literature and perform them on stage for young audiences, right? It's a great mission. And Wayne and Connie Brinda have decided that they're going to stage some one-actor shows in the 25 Carrick space.
Cool.
So at some point we'll be throwing that out to the world.
Well, I'll tell you something about Prime Stage. I was in a Prime Stage play like 20 some years ago.
And what was it?
I went to I think one rehearsal. I was Boo Radley in To Kill a Mockingbird.
Radley?
They called me the day before they opened because they lost their Boo Radley. And I was like, I could do that. It's no lines. And
right.
In the play, Boo Radley had a line. I asked them to cut it. And they were like, oh, no, we can't cut your only line. And I'm like, for real, like I really don't want to say this line. I'm here.
Start on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. You couldn't cop the one Boo Radley line?
That's what I'm saying. What's up, JJ Jackson? Also, Danielle says hi. And Tara Mays says, what's up to you, Dave?
Oh, Tara Mays. I hope she's working on her art. Tara May has some fantastic skills. Fantastic skills.
Yes, she does. All right. Well, that's it, man. So you got some stuff cooking. Let's talk about getting Bare Bones out there. I'm just it's the unions.
Yes.
The unions are screwing it up for me, man. I've got the content. I've got the stuff to do.
Okay.
It's not the unions are screwing it up for me. The unions are looking out for actors, and rightfully so. I mean, they don't really. No one knows what's going on right now. I'm not knocking.
But that's just an equity situation?
Yeah, it's equity. Well, it's basically everything in general, right? Okay, so it's the content. It's how do you charge the royalties on this? Is it a one-time thing? Is there a paywall? Is there are you doing it just for free and taking donations?
Right.
There's lots of things that are going on to this. I go to basically every theater in town is on these like Zoom chats, and we get together every like once a month, and everybody talks about what everyone's doing, and everybody's taking different angles, and nobody's done anything yet because nobody can do anything. You're
Okay,
just
well,
seeing these live reads.
let's throw this out there to
Let's do it offline.
any
Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
Pittsburgh theater company who wants to mount a show, all the hardware you need, all the audio, all the video, come to your show at our spot. We'll donate the spot to make it happen.
You're the man.
That is an open invitation.
Well, thank you, Dave. And that's it. The internet is tickering right now. That people.
Let's do one thing at a time here.
It was me getting a little taste of home, right?
That was from the
balls.
playoffs. Yeah.
Watching the shoes.
Well, Dave, we got to run. Thank you so much for your time, and thanks for everything that you're doing, man. You are the busiest cat in town. We didn't even scratch the surface here, I feel like. But come back and see us again. Don't wait 99 episodes to do it.
Nothing but love for all of you guys, man.
All right,
Carry on.
Thank you. Go ahead. Dave at HEARCORP.com, and check out HEARCORP and 25 Carrick. See what they are up to. Get involved. You heard the offer right there. Let's get it working.
That's the offer. Come on.
All
See what you got.
All right. Thanks, Dave. Okay, so something exciting to talk about now is something that we have going on next week. I believe it's next week. Dave, is it next week? October 23rd. Whenever that falls. Is that next week?
Next Friday. It's Friday. Yeah.
We've got a special takeover. Dave, do you want to get it started? Do you want to show them a little thing that we're doing here at Alone Together Pittsburgh?
Yeah, man, check this out. Boom, 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 boom. Who's got the script? You got the script?
That's right. I got no script, but I tell you what.
Friday, October 23rd, baby. Hashtag ghouls for good. We got something exciting brewing. In fact, it's thrilling. It's horrifying. It's
Save the
horrible. It's monstrous.
Look, it is a tribute. Use the hashtag ghouls for good, folks. It is a tribute to Night of the Living Dead. Live reads with scenes and stars. Not us stars, but like actual stars. The announcements of who's going to be in the show is coming soon, but they are some of your favorite Romero from the Romero canon of films. It's coming, right? And you at home, okay, you watching right now, get to take your shot to be a part of this epic Pittsburgh live read, okay? You get to take your zombie shot. Send us videos, pictures, whatever you got, and post the videos on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Use the hashtag ghouls for good, and you have a chance to have your video showing up during the live stream event while things are going on. We need go to the website. You can see what you got there. Find us out on our Twitter, Instagram, togetherpgh.com. Get on it, Pittsburgh or world, okay? Get on it. Send us your videos, your favorite zombie stuff. You could use Legos and make some zombie stuff. Anything you want. Claymation, stop motion graphics. You squirting some ketchup on your face. Get out there in the field. Here's a taste. Look at that. Look at those zombies. That could be you. And those two zombies combined aren't even old enough to drink.
Combined. Yeah.
All right. That's amazing. All right, Pete, what else you got on this? This is an exciting thing that Alone Together Pittsburgh is venturing
I mean,
into.
it sounds like a fun activity. I mean, like I did it with my daughter. That was her, and she was one of the girls. And they got excited. They did the makeup. We went up to the cemetery up the street in the middle of the night and scared some of the neighbors, but it was cool.
So send us your zombie videos. It could be 5 seconds long. It could be a minute long. Whatever you got, we'll make it together. And if it's good enough, we'll get it. We'll put it on the show with these icons in the horror film genre are going to be with us on this thing.
I like that you were like, it's not just like a Bobo show with us. You know what I mean? They're not gonna have a Halloween Bobo time. You know what I mean? It's gonna be. This is gonna be quality stuff.
I
We
want
got
Boom, bring your
stars
A
coming
game.
up, like
people that
And-
were in movies that you have seen that are iconic. okay?
Anticipation.
But it's not us. It's the actual.
You're
folks.
sick of us. It's fine. You're done. You're like, get off my stupid internet computer.
You're
Show me
sick-
somebody that matters.
You're
Get ready.
Sick of us. You're sick of us. Keep watching, okay? Because pretty soon you won't have to see us. Because a week from Friday, it's going to be the real deal, the A game. Fear not.
Gina on point as always.
Gina always brings it in. No one assumed you were the stars. Well, Gina, just because of that comment, I got LeBron James here with me tonight, and I'm not bringing him on camera because of what you said there, LeBron.
You hurt his feelings.
You hurt his feelings. You hurt my feelings tonight, LeBron. Seriously, Bron, we're good. You can go. You can go back to Florida.
You should smell him though. How's he smell?
Oh, he smells like angels ought to smell. It's how LeBron James smells. Anyway, okay, so get that out. Use the hashtag Ghouls for Good. Find out more information. Go to ghoulsforgood.com. You can find out the whole thing. Tell your friends. Spread the word. Get it out there. We're going to start pushing it out hard. This is going to be exciting. All right, this is exciting. But you know what's even more exciting to me? Finding out about Farm2Table. Wait, we got another zombie thing here. Oh, wow. Look at this. You guys were legit at a cemetery with your not yet 12-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
Rolling around.
Yeah, we were. Middle of a Monday night. Yeah, on a school night. No. Anyway.
God, Gina, I thought you were James Harden's beard. Okay, so here we go. Moving on, we're going to get to one of my favorite sections of the show here. She's been waiting patiently in the wings here. I'm sorry to keep baby in a corner. Erin Hart is here from Farm2Table, farm2tablepa.com. Keep it real, keep it local, buy fresh, buy local. Hey,
Hi.
Erin.
How are you guys?
I'm all right. I'm sitting here and I'm just noticing. What is that over your shoulder?
Oh, they're pumpkins, Patrick.
Oh,
It's
those are
like-
pumpkins.
It's some pansies. Let me hold this up.
Oh, pansies. That is a beautiful pansy.
Yeah. So it's just some fall decorations that I picked up. I bought these at Bednar's on Bower Hill Road. It's a great way to buy local because the average American spends $60 on holiday decorations. So going to a local farm or farm store or farmer's market, instead of sending that dollar to like the shareholders of Home Depot, you're sending it to like Allegheny County farmers or Washington County or wherever.
And there are plenty of farms right now that could facilitate all your holiday decoration needs.
Absolutely. Tell us about your.
Well, I tell you what.
pumpkin
Well,
patch.
it's so funny. It's so funny you bring this up because today I actually went to a pumpkin patch. I went to Sorgel's,
Yes.
out there in Wexford,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you what. I was not disappointed at Sorgel's. If you're worried about COVID, everyone's wearing masks. Plenty of signs. I went on a weekday, mind you. Wasn't too crowded. Okay. The pumpkins were plentiful. Okay, they were everywhere, but they also have those crazy fun, like gourd-looking pumpkins. The one they look like Cinderella pumpkins. Then they've got like a whole stuff of the ugly pumpkins. They've got
Right.
lots of pumpkins. My daughter loved it. She ran around. She had a blast up there. It was great. Everyone was cool. Everyone socially distanced themselves. And not only did I buy some pumpkins, I bought little ones, big ones. I bought pumpkins to paint on. I bought pumpkins to carve. I went into their farm store, and I bought every pie they had.
That's awesome. What kind of pies did they have?
I got an apple pie. I've got a peach pie. These are the half pies.
Right.
I got
Of course.
a pumpkin pie, and I got a blueberry pie and a strawberry
nice.
pie. I bought
Nice.
I didn't buy the whole, so I rocked those out because my daughter just started
That's awesome.
yelling all the stuff that she wanted, so I ended up buying it all. And I am impulse bought like the little cookies that they make, the little nut roll things,
Yeah.
and the pumpkin muffins. I did a lot of things, and I also bought their apple cider, which I will recommend to adults, but I would be very wary to give a whole container of that apple cider to a 2-year-old.
Yeah, it helps. Yeah, it really keeps them regular.
Well, it wasn't the regular part that I'm talking about. It was the sugar rush.
Oh yeah,
that sent her to a wild.
I'm sure it was like just the everything.
Well, I did it in reverse order. I should have given her I should have gotten the cider first upon getting there,
right?
Not before we got in the car.
Well, Nick, or you could also water it down. I have some.
Yeah.
What I have for her.
Oh my good! Hey, look at that shirt. Ah,
yeah,
the Pittsburgh
I
Pierogi
saved
Festival.
it. Yeah, my girls just grew out of it.
All right. Well,
my zombie like 10 and 12-year-olds.
Well, your zombie like 10 and 12
I'm gonna give this to Pepper too.
Oh, she would love that.
This is really old school.
I love that.
It's from like 2010, probably.
That's fantastic. But okay, so I don't want to bogart all your time here.
I know.
So I went to Sorgel's, and we've got some decorations over at the Jordan house. But moving on, go on with what we were saying.
Well, so what I also love about Sorgel's is their orchard. So it's just so picturesque when you're there. So when you look up over the hill and it's, the blue sky against the hillside. Sometimes in Pittsburgh, like I live in the middle of a hill, so sometimes like there's just a hill above you and you don't see that like broad scape. And then there's also Sorgel's they were one of the first retailers in Western Pennsylvania to carry a lot of organic and gluten-free foods. They have Naturally Sorgel's. So you could go there and also shop and buy a ton of, outside of the East End Food Co-op, Sorgel's is one of the best food stores. Like Sunnybridge and McMurray, they're really good too. But anyway, yeah.
But go on. But yeah, like lots of decorations to be had.
And also, didn't it just feel good to be around all that fresh food?
It felt good. I mean, honestly, it was great to be out, and the weather was just perfect today, though. Yeah. So I can't really I can't chalk it all up just like go to the farm and magic happens, but it kind of does.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was like the perfect day, but it felt great to be around that. Plus, it's decorative gourd season,
Yeah.
So that was exciting.
Some apples, like different.
Oh, I got a bag of apple. I got a bag of apples too. The
Okay,
farm
that's
apples they are noticeably better than any apples you're gonna get pretty much at any store.
Yeah, absolutely, because you're getting it and it was just picked rather than a lot of times at the grocery store it's from New Zealand, and a lot from Washington State. So a lot from Washington State, and they're mass produced. They're actually in Adams County, Pennsylvania, is a huge apple producer. So you don't have to, so this is like to go and like to the even further, you don't have to buy non-Pennsylvania apples. We have plenty of apples that are just right here in PA. We don't have to go to New Zealand or, Washington State or whatever. So
I love it. I'm sorry, I just saw that this is my Christmas apparently. I do love decorative gourd season, man. I like the pumpkins and the gourd. I like the ones with those knots on them and everything.
I know.
I like the ugliest thing you could do. Plus, I mean, you can carve those and you've got like they're already half decorated for you. You can't put that on there yourself.
My daughter bought one and she's gonna turn it into a witch and all the little like dots
and stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's awesome. That's genius.
Yeah. So we went to Bednar's instead of going to a big event.
Mm-hmm.
Bednar's is just like a store, so it's not, which is another alternative rather than going to like a crowded place if you don't want to go around crowds at all because there is no event. It's just you pull up and it's like a farm stand. They ran around and my 3 kids and they picked out a bunch of pumpkins and they stayed outside the whole time. And then, I went in and paid for everything. So they were wearing masks, but then they just like stayed out by the car. So it was been, you can still have that experience.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be like, over the top.
Well, I'm glad you paid for it and didn't just run. That because that'd be totally antithetical to the whole point of why we're here.
Like shoplifting from.
But yeah, so I mean, but it's not just pumpkins, right? I mean, like the food is great. It's not just decorations that these things go. You can get the whole thing. I mean, I literally don't know which pie I'm gonna dive into here when we're done with the show here.
I know the pies are great because they're that they're fresh.
Yeah, I think Pepper went into the peach pie tonight. I was on the show when she was eating
So
it, though,
great.
so I don't know how it went down.
You guys are going to be eating pie. So you're going to have pie for breakfast every day?
Yeah, yeah, I hope. I mean,
And
that's
an
that's
egg.
pie is actually my favorite food. I think
Uh-huh, that's great.
I'm pretty sure that just general pie.
Is your birthday March 14th?
No, it isn't. Wouldn't that be something? It's May 13th. So you
Oh,
got
okay.
yeah. So I'm close. But March.
Yeah.
That's to you people who didn't go to second grade. That's Pi Day 3.14. 97. But anyway, okay. So what else can people what can people look for like right now? I mean, we're going into the weekend here in a couple of days. It's Hump Day here on a Wednesday. What's going on? What can people look forward to for the weekend here in the Farm to Table world?
Well, definitely the harvest fests, what we were just talking about. Farmers markets are mostly still happening. A lot of them are wrapping up in the next couple of weeks. So this would be a good time. If you haven't gone to a market yet, start going now. Bloomfield has already announced that they're going through, they'll be going all winter long, and a lot of the other markets will be going all winter long too. So, they'll be, but some will be shutting down. So you might have to travel a little more. This is our blog. So there's we just publish articles and information about what's happening in sustainable agriculture and urban agriculture. Ayanna Jones from Sankofa Village Community Garden in Helmwood. She was interviewed by Farm Aid back when they were here, probably 3 or 4 years ago. And then they interviewed her again this year to see how she was coping with COVID and bringing emergency food resources to the community where she works, where their farm. And they're moving their farm right now. So they're in the process of moving a couple blocks away from where they had been. So, this is just one of you can see on the left, it's a picture of our local food guide. We just sent a bunch out with Table Magazine. So about probably half of the Table subscribers are going to get the local food guide and the recipe book that's coming out. And we will also be doing another call for retailers to carry it too. So
cool.
Trying to keep the brand up there. Buy fresh, buy local. We'll be sending out yard signs this year. We have T-shirts and stickers, and yeah.
And we can find all this out on the website. It's all there,
Yeah.
the blog. That's fantastic.
Yes.
Erin, thank you so much
Great
for
talking
coming back
to you
here
guys.
again. Great talking to you too. Are you excited about our Night of the Living Dead tribute show a week from Friday?
Yes, I think it's incredible. I think it's great what you guys are doing. I love that you guys are out here, putting yourselves out here so many nights every single week. I thought great ideas. I know you have to plan carefully. The City Theater, I thought, did a great, Drinking Partners was there. I went to a light show at Carrie Furnace.
Yeah, how was that? It sold out.
It was awesome. I went there with my husband and my 3 kids. So my daughter, who's 10, has a broken leg. So we were carrying her. He's they're insane.
Carrying around Carrie. That's great.
It was incredible. It was incredible. I just was so happy to be there. I was so happy to
be around it.
You in person, and this woman was standing in the rain, pouring down rain, and she was standing there with a little clipboard.
City Theater actually has one more week of their Frankenstein. That they're doing there right now. It goes tonight through Sunday. So check that out. It's alive. It's like the show. I forget the name of the company that's doing it, but it's apparently awesome. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So thanks for.
And I found out about it because Day and Ed from Drinking Partners and Fresh Fest.
Yeah, they did that. I mean, they
did
booked,
their first show.
It was like a community festival. They did a different show every night.
It was amazing.
And then now they're actually doing a run of a piece of theater, which is amazing. So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But all right. So Erin, I think you froze for a second there, but you're back. Thank you so much, and we will see you a week from tonight. Sound good?
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll be here.
All right. Thanks so much, Erin Hart.
Thanks.
Everybody go to farm2tablepa.com. Find out all the good stuff. All right. So right now we are going to attempt to get our next guest back in here. I think we have Joy. Do we have Joy? I mean, we have Joy. Joy, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, just 1 second. Okay, we're good.
That's good, man. What I'm curious about is that bottle. Was there like ice cubes in that? Did it sound like there was like what was that rattle with that? Was that a bottle of wine?
Oh, cheers, cheers, cheers.
Oh, cheers. Here's all right. It's good.
Drinking alone, it's better than having friends.
That's good. So you're in a.
Is that what
you're
the
in a,
song said?
That's what I think. That's George Thorogood.
Yeah.
So you're in a van right now.
Yeah. There's my surfboard. There's my studio, my guitar, and then I got my dresser, and that's it.
What, you got everything you need there.
Yeah.
Except a bathroom, right?
Yeah. You gotta teach yourself to just not go. But I did get this cool plant in Texas when I was there, because I keep killing all the plants. So then this amazing musician named Tilly in Texas Tilly, she gave me that plant, and I haven't killed it because it's it's like a cactus. I don't know.
I understand. It's tough. They're hard to kill. So, is it as good as hashtag van life is on Pinterest? Is what I'm curious.
Oh
about.
no, those people don't actually live in vans. Those people just take pictures of vans in their driveways. Like if you ever notice in those pictures, there isn't anything there. Like mine's full of just crap. You know, there's never anything there. We'll see one in a second because. Oh wait, that was Pete. Hey Pete.
So
hey, thank you, thank Pete, thank Pete for everyone doing this. This is awesome.
This is great. So do you surf a lot in Kentucky?
Yeah, right now the waves are pretty minimal here. Hoping that tomorrow gets a little better. We'll have to see. 2020 has been a tough year for surfing in Kentucky, definitely.
All right, yeah, it's good. Well, that's why I'm glad you're on the scene right there. I've been dying to ask somebody in Kentucky about that. So I'm glad we were able to have you here. So you got into Pittsburgh. You recorded that song earlier in the week here. The video is pretty great.
Oh,
I've got to say,
it was fun to make. Everyone, people are starting to hang out in small groups. The rock room's actually being pretty good now. People are spaced out in the tables and with the masks when they're walking around, and I had it was 5 of us, and small group stuff. I feel like people have started to do a little bit of, not partying too much, but mess around with a couple people here and there. And it's wanted to do haven't done anything in months, and just everyone was going stir crazy, so I was like, let's make something.
Oh, it's great. I mean, it's actually it's super high quality. Dave sent me a link to it, and I was like, this video is great. We're actually going to try to show it at the end of the night here tonight, but not quite yet. Hold on a second here. I got something here. Something's coming in here. What is Randonautica?
Randonautica is an app that gives you a location. In layman's terms, it's random, but it's not actually random. It's actually a quantum location generator, quantum random location generator. So instead of a random location, like throwing one dart at a map, it throws a million darts at a map. And where there's clusters of darts, that's what you would consider an anomaly of let's say the Matrix.
Okay.
Right? That 1 out of 10 darts you throws ends up in this spot. That's crazy. So anyways, you set an intention. It's sort of like a game. You set an intention. So let's say your intention is pineapple. And then you go to the spot. It sends you to a GPS coordinate, and you fucking look around. And then all of a sudden you see graffiti of pineapple, and you're like, how the fuck is this possible? The world's so crazy. And then you lose your shit and start doing it every day and making YouTube videos about it. And then the app crashes and you're not sure what to do with yourself. So you just start breaking in abandoned buildings and videoing that too. But hopefully the app will be back up soon, because it is pretty the app will be back up soon because it is pretty great and fun. But I definitely have been making videos. They're fun to watch. They're The weirdest one that did happen was the pineapple one. If you want to hear that story, it's pretty quick.
Tell it.
It's not on YouTube. It was on my Instagram. It was a short story because it was like my third or fourth time going, and I set the intention of pineapples, and it took me to this area with no pineapples, and I filmed myself in front of a sea of Spanish moss in the trees flowing right by the water in New Orleans.
Okay.
And I said in the video. Go ahead.
I said we might have that clip.
Oh, maybe. Oh, jeez. No way.
That's kind of random. That's kind of randonautica.
So this is where we're at today. I need to talk real quick about mushroom legalization. It's extremely important that they legalize mushrooms everywhere immediately, because if a person was to microdose to, let's say, help with anxiety and depression and a whole bag of things that microdosing can help with, they could take too much. And that's sort of great depending upon the timing, or let's say location, but also could not be that great if you had, let's say, goals. And
okay, now,
okay,
that was a little taste.
That was the day. I set the intention of food.
That was a food day. All right, look, I'm sorry to interrupt the pineapple. I thought we had.
What's that?
Go on.
Well, I set the intention of food, and it takes me to the middle of the woods, and then a guy shows up with a bucket of fish at the exact location, and we talk a little bit. But I'm also on mushrooms, so it's fucking whack. But the Spanish moss was the craziest because I filmed myself in front of the Spanish moss saying, "Oh, there's no pineapples," and then 4 days later, I leave and I'm at a truck stop. And there's a sideshow attraction that is about Spanish moss and teaches me that it's actually from the family of pineapples. Yeah, look that one up. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. This is good. Now, I mean, all right. So I find this wildly entertaining. Okay, and I love watching this. But what possessed you? What brought it into your attention to do this?
Oh, I guess I've always been like, so when I was like 18, I started hopping trains, and I've traveled via backpack, and I've hopped trains in like 5 different countries. I've hopped across Mexico and Cuba and Guatemala and Canada and US, of course, several times. So I like to explore. And then when I found out about the app and it was like, we'll send you to a random location and crazy shit will happen, I was like, let's go.
That's awesome, man. It's kind of living the dream then a little bit.
Or the nightmare, whatever.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
So
you set it up, I'll hit it out.
Do you have friends in Kentucky or just making friends in Kentucky?
I don't think I have friends anywhere. But that's fine.
Oh, good. Well, I mean, as long as you got your van, surfboard, bottle, and a cactus, you're good to roll.
Yeah, life is good. Life is good.
Pete, did you have anything to add here with Joy?
Hey, Pete.
What's up, Joy? I've been getting into the van life thing, but I guess I take a lot more photos of myself.
I think it's a different kind of van life.
Yeah, but your construction's really good. Every time you build something, it looks really good. When I build stuff, it's like, oh God. I mean, seriously, everything's held together by like zip ties and shit. I got zip ties. I got bungee cords. That's my kitchen up there. Jeez.
Some Gorilla Tape.
Whew.
Yeah, I actually did the math. I spent about a third of the summer sleeping outdoors, so I think I did all right this year.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went camping more than 28 days.
I spent
No,
100% of the summer indoors. Sleeping.
I love it. So where do you park, Joy? Like, do you park a lot of times like in like parking lots for like big chain stores, or do you find campsites?
I actually am really afraid of sleeping in the woods. I sleep in the cities where normally I think people are afraid. A lot of like tent city areas, a lot of streets with lots of people staying in vans.
So you don't just
I
like
feel
put a
totally
quarter in a meter.
there. Yeah, I feel really comfortable around people no matter what their status is. I don't feel comfortable in the woods. I think I'm gonna get fucking eaten or some shit, like, or killed by rednecks or some shit. I don't know, man. Rednecks.
That's
scare
my
me.
biggest fear.
Fuck. So
Like when you
scary.
go, like we
I don't
pulled into
know
a
how
couple
to do it.
campsites.
But anyways, I'm at Walmart. I'm at Walmart right now.
Oh, there you go. Hey, speaking of vans, there's Dave Mansueto right there, showing us that van life.
Yeah. Yo, that looks good.
That's pretty impressive, Dave. I'm proud of you. Man, Dave,
Yeah,
that's
I just did a much smaller bed. Mine's like tiny now. Yeah.
I feel like it's almost like quasi that movie Powder mixed with, like, what is going on, Dave? All right. So I can't unsee that. I think that's what I'm afraid of. It's not rednecks. Pete's van is the work of a broken man. Eventually, it'll be submitted. Oh God, it's so evidence. It could be. Pete, before I know we have Joy on for such a short amount of time, but are you wearing like a button-down shirt?
Sorry, my dog came up to me and knocked my headphones out. What did you say?
Pete, are you wearing a button-down shirt? Is that like a
flannel.
collar?
It's my.
Oh, it's a
my
flannel. I thought that was like a dress shirt. Like you were wearing like a. Oh yeah, there you go. That's a little more Pete. Okay, all right, good. We're okay. So I'm not gonna bust your chops at all. We're all right. Looking good, Pete. And Joy, you're looking good, my friend. This has been about 3 or 4 months since I've seen you last.
Wow, that's crazy. Thanks for having
Yeah.
me back.
Oh man,
Love
I'm
the
glad
show.
you're here. Glad you're here. Love you on the show. You got to come back and do it when you get to when you go to your next spot. Actually, so with this random thing, right? Where it's coming with the random stuff, right?
Yeah.
Question for you. You should come on the show when you find out where you're going next. Where you let's do a live randomization.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. When the app's back, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I got a job. I started acting, and I got a job in a movie,
Randonautica.
and I start mid-November, so I got to be in LA in mid-November. But I'll be exploring until then.
Okay. Well, let us know what's going on in LA. It's a crazy world out there right now.
Yeah, I want to hear about
for
this
sure.
movie.
It's called The Other Foot, and it's about like if white people were slaves, like, but it's written and produced and directed by a black lady named Time, who I'm very excited to work with, because I was very worried about going to Hollywood and working with like white pedophiles. So I'm very excited that like my first job is not with a fucking old white pedo.
Wait till your second job, man.
Oh
Bound to
yeah,
happen.
yeah.
It's bound to happen.
You know,
Just gotta
gotta work my
okay.
way
So
up.
so the commandant is coming in here. We've got to talk about the Jag-Off, the overnight poll, and who won the in-show poll. Talk to me, Dave.
You ready for this? In-show poll. God, these people are, they're animals. Frickin' animals. Here it is. You ready for this? What do you like? I wasn't ready for that, but I'm ready for this. Recumbent bike 75%, one wheels 25. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I think
That's
there's
good.
a little bit of a karma for the old men. You know what I mean? Because they're not going to be around as long. That's the thing about getting older, is that you got less, statistically, you got less time than the young men. You know what I mean?
I
So
like
you got to
it,
make the best of it.
But the overnight jag-off poll is a big one, Dave.
Let's do this, baby.
You're not into the one wheels.
Overnight, Bill Peduto's beard returns. Look at that beard. Not a speck or a crumb or leftover latte is in that beard. That thing is quafted and ready to rock, battling the Civic Arena. The Civic Arena, that's right, the original home to the Penguins. When you brought out the Penguins into their original igloo with a flip top so you can reach in and grab yourself an icy light. Bill Peduto's beard versus Civic Arena. That's it. Good night.
Get your votes together. Get your votes together. I think we lost Joy, but get your votes together. The votes are live right at togetherpgh.com. EH25.com is the winery. But please tune in tomorrow. It is our 100th show. We're going to have some surprise guests, but I can tell you we will have Joe Grishecki is going to be doing a song for us. Kate Romaine is going to be here talking about what Kate ate. So please tune in tomorrow. It's going to be a great night, and we'll figure it out. We're going to have surprise guests because, we don't have anyone else booked yet. But it's our 100th episode, so it's going to be exciting. Dave, what else you got to say?
I was seeing if we could bring Joy back. We were going to run that music video because that track is going to hit the top of the charts. So
That's
if we
what I was
don't see
hoping
him,
for.
I say let's let this sucker rip. What do you
All
think?
right, so I think we let it rip. Thank you all very much. Please stay safe. Pete, you want to add something?
Black Lives Matter.
All right, everybody. Thank you all. Stay safe. Wear your masks. Keep your distance. And here is...
Don't let stupid boys, don't let stupid boys, don't let stupid boys ruin a perfect song. Well, I think you're better than them, but we all make mistakes. Sometimes I crush you, still crush. Don't need no mistake. Feelings can be bulletproof, but they don't make them right. Quit playing capture red flags. He only plays at night. Don't let stupid boys, don't let stupid boys, don't let stupid boys ruin perfect song. Robert Smith did it right there for him. He's only worth Morrissey. Stupid boy, 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 stupid boy.
That video is amazing and it kicks ass. And yeah. So, all right. Thank you all very much. Thank you, everybody's watching. Thank you again to our guests tonight. Joy, thank you for being here. Thank you, Dave Bjornson, who's checking out his neck right now. Thank you, Dave, for being on the show tonight. Erin Hart, Farm2Table. And Erin Hart, I can hear you at her house right now, too. So she's still here with us. So props to everybody. Dave Bjornson, you got anything to say? Dave. All right, we got to get Dave off the screen. Get Dave off the screen. You didn't know he was with us.
It's like that Fred Armisen skit from Saturday Night Live where he just like comes in and he's just like,
oh my gosh. Well, man, magic happens. You catch joy. You catch joy in a bottle, and we caught joy tonight. Man, Joy's fascinating, man. He's one of my favorite guests on the show. I'm so glad he was able to come on tonight.
good
And props to everything. So, guys, tomorrow's 100, huh?
Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have ever thunk it? You know what I mean? If like back in week 2, somebody was like, "You're gonna do 100 of these," we'd have been like, "No way."
There'd have been no way. We'd have killed each other. We would have said we were going to kill everybody. Everybody's going to be dead. But well, you know what? Props, man. This is good. We
pushed ourselves to the edge a couple times.
We went to the edge and we stopped to look down.
We're edge lords.
You know, we lost a lot of friends, baby. We had no time to mess around. Eddie Van Halen passed away. I was talking to Bjornson about that before. I was hoping we could chat a little bit about it, but he gone. Dave's checking his shave from his bubble shave.
Do you think Eddie's going to come back undead?
Well, I mean, somebody could do something like that and put it in. We can put it in the show for a week from Friday to get the zombie train rolling. I can't wait to start getting that. That's going to be exciting too. All right. I mean, since we already went over the 1 hour mark, I figured we could chat for a little bit if anybody got anything on their minds. I don't know if anybody's still watching, but it's nice to see you guys. And I can't believe it's 100 episodes coming up at all. So that's it, man. It's been a crazy ride here. We're still on the wave, the first wave. But anyway, props to everybody else. You guys are chatterboxes. Dave, you look good with that hat on. The only thing missing from that shot of you in the back of the van would be that hat, looking like 5-year-old Dave. In the back
I was
of the
wearing
car.
it. You just couldn't see it.
Touche, my friend. Touche. I like the way you work it, Dave.
Dave, do you have a bed for the back of that?
Yeah, I just got a little inflatable. I need to build a platform, and then I'm G to G.
Wait a minute. What do you need a platform for? Your nose will hit the roof. I mean, it's not like you got.
You got to put
a lot of
stuff
space
underneath
in that little thing. It's like the TARDIS. That's from Doctor Who.
I was going to say, Dave, I ordered a mattress, but it wasn't big enough for the van. It'd probably be perfect for you. I would give it to you.
He got a mattress. It's not big enough. It could be perfect for you, though. I mean,
Well,
it's got a couple
van,
couple stains on it. You'd like it. It's better than what you got. But,
I
took a dump on it. My dog took a piss on it. But it's good for you, though. It'll be good.
I inflated it once. It's an air mattress. I inflated it once, and then
it had
too
two
small.
arms, 2 legs, and a mouth that was open. Right? That was your air mattress.
Here we go. Save it for the zombie film, Patrick.
My jokes
locker room talk going on here.
My jokes are dead. Is what Pete's trying to say. My humor is not for anybody.
Hey, Patrick, pass the talcum powder. I'm gonna slap you on the can.
Splash landing, boys. Here we go. I'm gonna whip you with my towel here. Anyway, the show has gone off the rails. We're back tomorrow. A surprise guest, 100th episode.
Gina Mungo.
Gina Mungo. We might even have her on. It's all right. Have you thought about using Pete's raft or dinghy?
Dave has a raft.
Or dinghy.
I'm the original dinghy master.
That's why he's got that hat.
Yeah, Pete totally co-opted your vibe, dude.
No, but he stole it. He drove it like he stole it. So I say Godspeed. You know what I mean? Godspeed. Because he's ripping, and I'm just like, you know what?
I gotta say, you are exactly right, Dave. I mean, Pete took it, but he took it to the next level. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He's like, on Saturday Night Live, they brought in Bill Murray after Chevy Chase. You know what I mean? Bill Murray took it to the next level. Chevy Chase was kind of lame.
It was Bill Murray that said, "Good artists copy. Chevy Chase is an asshole."
And we end it with that tonight. Wear a mask. Thank you all.
Oh, are we signing off?
Oh, we could. I know we don't have to, but that was a great that you just said the perfect little line there. Unless you
I got something even better. You ready?
Show it to me.
When I walk out and there's someone without a mask and they come too close to me, I'm just racked with fear, and then I want to punch them in the face.
Ouch. Ow. Damn. Right on the bridge of my nose.
I don't know what I'm listening to.